Chosen One, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you. There are moments in life that enter quietly, without loud announcements, without dramatic signs, and yet they carry the subtle weight of something significant. You may not see it immediately, but you can feel it. You can sense when a shift begins, like a soft current moving beneath the surface of your awareness. This Monday is one of those moments, not because of the day itself on the calendar, but because of what you have been becoming. You have been in a silent transition for longer than you realize. Something within you has been preparing itself, aligning itself, gathering strength, clarity, and understanding. And now, the unfolding is beginning to show. You are no longer standing where you used to stand. You are not the same version of yourself that you once were. And this Monday is a reflection of that new inner state, a mirror of the quiet transformation that has been taking place within you. The surprises are not simply events. They are recognitions. They are realizations. They are moments where everything that once seemed uncertain begins to make sense. Before we continue, watch this message until the end, because it contains energy meant to match the frequency of your awakening. And write your warmest wish in the comments along with the number 144. Speak what you desire, not with desperation, but with clarity and openness. By writing your wish, you are releasing it into motion, allowing it to be carried by the unseen forces that shape experience. The number 144 represents alignment, balance, and the harmonizing of intention with outcome. Let this be a moment where you acknowledge what your heart has been quietly holding. Now, Chosen One, press the hype button, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's start. Chosen One, the meaning of this is not external spectacle. It is internal revelation. The surprise is not a random coincidence. It is the moment of understanding why your path unfolded the way it has. Look back for a moment, not with regret, not with longing, but with awareness. Think of how many seasons you have walked through, how many moments you did not think you would make it through, how many times you kept going even when you didn't fully understand why. Every silent struggle shaped you. Every ending strengthened you. Every disappointment redirected you. And every moment of loneliness taught you how to stand within yourself. The surprise is not that your path is changing now. The surprise is that you are finally ready to see why. There is a turning point in every inner journey where growth stops being something that happens in the background and begins to reveal itself in the way you exist. Your tone changes. Your presence becomes grounded. Your decisions gain clarity. You begin to move differently, speak differently, and choose differently. You stop chasing what does not align. You stop holding on to what drains your spirit. You stop explaining yourself to people who refuse to understand. You stop betraying yourself for the sake of belonging. You begin to trust your own voice again. This Monday is not a starting point. It is an emergence, a rising, a moment where the internal now becomes visible. You may notice that your intuition is speaking louder than before. Not with loud instructions or dramatic insight, but with a quiet certainty, a subtle knowing, the kind that cannot be explained logically, but feels undeniably true. You may walk into a room and sense the emotional temperature without needing anyone to speak. You may hear someone's words and feel the truth or falsehood beneath them. You may find yourself stepping away from certain connections without conflict, simply because your spirit no longer resonates there. You are not becoming distant. You are becoming aligned. You are moving according to your internal state instead of external expectation. Chosen One, the surprise is the realization of how far you have come. The surprise is the recognition of your own growth. You are stepping into a version of yourself that no longer tolerates experiences that diminish your spirit. This is not pride. This is self-respect. For so long, you learned to endure. You learned to adapt. You learned to survive in environments that were not made for your expansion. Now, you are learning to live, to choose, to create. Survival is no longer your default state. You are entering a space where you can finally breathe. This might feel unfamiliar at first. Peace can feel strange when you are used to experiencing life through tension. Calm can feel unnatural when you have been shaped by chaos. But stay with it. Let the peace settle. Let the quiet become normal. Let your nervous system learn that safety is not temporary. You are not waiting for something to fall apart. You are allowing something to begin. You may find that your relationship with your past is changing. The memories that once weighed heavily on your chest may feel softer now. The emotions that once overwhelmed you may feel lighter. Healing is not the erasure of pain. Healing is the integration of experience. It is the moment when you realize that your past does not define you. It informs you. It teaches you. It shapes your awareness. The person you were did not fail. They endured. They carried you to this moment. You do not need to resent them. You can honor them. Every past version of yourself was necessary to become who you are now. Chosen one, the surprise is not external fortune appearing suddenly. The surprise is internal sovereignty. The recognition that you no longer need anyone else to tell you who you are. The recognition that your worth is intact. The recognition that your energy is valuable. The recognition that your voice matters. You are no longer seeking to belong in places that cannot hold the fullness of you. You are creating the space where you belong. Your presence is going to feel different to others now. Some will be drawn to you, not because you are trying to attract them, but because your authenticity is magnetic. Some will experience discomfort around you, not because you are doing anything wrong, but because your clarity exposes what they have not yet faced. You are not responsible for soothing others' discomfort with your growth. You are responsible for honoring your truth. This Monday carries the energy of stepping into your next chapter without apology. No more shrinking. No more second-guessing. No more carrying the emotional weight of others at the cost of your own well-being. You are learning to move with balance, compassion without self-abandonment, empathy without draining yourself, love without losing yourself. This is maturity of the spirit. This is evolution of the heart. This is strength without hardness. Chosen one, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because you are ready. Not because you forced anything, not because you rushed anything, not because you perfected anything, but because you endured. You listened. You learned. You grew. And now your life begins to reflect that growth. The world does not change first. You change first. And then the world shifts around you. This is your moment of alignment. The path ahead is opening, not because it was closed before, but because now you can see it. You are stepping into yourself. You are stepping into your truth. You are stepping into your life. There is a stillness that arrives when you are no longer trying to outrun yourself. For a long time, you may have moved through life with a sense of urgency, feeling as though something needed to happen, something needed to change, something needed to resolve. That urgency was not impatience. It was the inner knowing that something greater was waiting for you. But while you were still in the process of becoming, that calling could only speak in whispers. Now, the whisper is becoming a voice, clear and steady. The shift you are experiencing is not about speed. It is about alignment. You are no longer pushing the river. You are learning to move with its flow. This Monday carries the energy of recognition, not from others, but from yourself. You may find yourself reflecting on your past decisions and realizing that you were guided more than you knew. Times where you felt lost were actually moments where your old identity was dissolving. Times where you felt disconnected were moments where your spirit was preparing to expand. The deepest growth happens beneath the surface, in the unseen layers of your being. You did not fail during the difficult seasons. You transformed. Even the silence was purposeful. Even the stillness was movement. There will come a moment soon, perhaps small, perhaps subtle, when something will click in your awareness. You might be sitting in quiet, or walking somewhere familiar, or looking out a window, and suddenly, everything will feel clearer. A memory will make sense. A lesson will connect. A truth will emerge. It will not feel dramatic. It will feel like something settling into its place, like the final piece of a puzzle gently dropping where it belongs. This is what internal alignment feels like. It is not loud. It is precise. Chosen one, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because your awareness has reached a depth where you can finally see your path with new eyes. The world you are stepping into is not new, you are. And so what you perceive, what you choose, what you create, will change naturally, without struggle. Growth does not demand force. It unfolds. You may notice that you are becoming more selective with your energy, not out of defensiveness, but out of clarity. You know who feels safe and who does not. You know which environments nourish you and which ones drain you. You know when your spirit expands and when it shrinks. This is your intuition guiding you toward alignment. You no longer ignore it. You no longer silence your own knowing to maintain peace. You understand now that peace built on self-betrayal is not peace. It is quiet suffering. Your spirit refuses to live like that anymore. This Monday marks the moment where you begin to choose yourself with ease, not aggressively, not dramatically, quietly, calmly, consistently. You are learning that choosing yourself is not selfish. It is sacred. You cannot fulfill your purpose while abandoning your own well-being. You cannot bring light to others while dimming your own. The chosen one does not sacrifice their identity to belong. The chosen one carries their identity into every space they enter. There is a new steadiness in you now. You are no longer moved by the same things that once disturbed you. You do not react as quickly. You observe. You feel. You discern. And then you respond, not from emotion, but from awareness. This is emotional evolution. It does not mean you feel less. It means you feel with clarity. You understand the difference between your feelings and your truth. Your emotions rise and fall like waves, but your essence remains steady, like the ocean beneath them. Chosen one, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because you are stepping into a timeline where life begins to reflect the inner work you have already done. The energy you carry is shifting the experiences you attract. Your presence is changing your reality. You are no longer waiting for external validation to confirm your direction. You are following the quiet certainty within you. Your journey has not been easy, but it has been meaningful. And everything you learned along the way is becoming the foundation you now live from. No experience was wasted. No emotion was pointless. No season was without purpose. You are emerging with wisdom that cannot be taught. It must be lived. You are not at the beginning of your transformation anymore. You are stepping into the expression of it. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. There is something remarkable that happens when a person is no longer defined by what they have endured. For so long, your identity may have been shaped by struggle, by responsibility, by survival. You learned to be strong not because you wanted to, but because you had to. You learned to carry weight that others did not see. You learned to hold yourself together even when no one else understood the effort it required. Those chapters were not mistakes. They were initiations. They shaped the resilience that now forms the core of your presence. But now, something is shifting. You are no longer living from that survival identity. The strength remains, but it is no longer a cage. It is now a foundation. The unfolding you are experiencing is the transition from surviving to living. This is a subtle shift, but it changes everything. When you lived in survival, your decisions were made from necessity, urgency, and protection. Now, decisions begin to come from clarity, desire, and alignment. You no longer cling to things out of fear. You choose them because they feel true. You no longer endure situations because you feel you must. You allow them to end when they no longer support your growth. This is freedom. Not dramatic, not loud, but deeply grounded freedom. Chosen One this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because your awareness is now able to recognize what is meant for you without hesitation. You will notice that life begins to feel more natural. The effort is less forced. The direction is less confusing. You feel guided not by external influence, but by your own sense of truth. This does not mean every step will be easy, but it means that even difficulty will feel purposeful. You are no longer battling against yourself. There is also a transformation happening in the way you hold space for others. In the past, you may have given beyond your capacity, trying to help, to heal, to carry, to fix. You may have believed that your worth was tied to how much you could offer or sacrifice. Now you are learning the difference between presence and overextension. You can care deeply without exhausting yourself. You can support others without losing your center. You can love without dissolving into the needs of others. This balance does not make you distant. It makes your love clean, stable, real. You are learning that your energy is valuable. Not everyone is meant to have access to it. Not every situation deserves your emotional investment. Not every connection deserves your depth. This understanding is not coldness. It is self-honoring. You no longer give from emptiness. You give from fullness. And if you are not full, you choose rest instead of self-betrayal. This is maturity of spirit. Chosen One, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because life is now responding to the energy you hold, not the energy you chase. When you were in survival mode, you may have felt like you were constantly reaching, trying to grasp stability, meaning, connection. Now, things come to you. Conversations arrive when needed. Insights appear when you are ready. People cross your path who reflect the depth you carry. Opportunities align themselves without force. This is what happens when you become aligned internally. The external world organizes itself around that alignment. You may also begin to notice a change in how you speak to yourself. The inner dialogue softens. The self-criticism loses intensity. The pressure you once placed on yourself dissolves. You no longer demand perfection. You no longer punish yourself for being human. You no longer rush your process. Instead, you speak to yourself with patience, honesty, understanding. This is self-compassion, not indulgence, not avoidance. Compassion based on truth. You are learning to be on your own side. There may be moments of quiet, where you feel a kind of gentle sadness, not grief, not pain, but release. This is the emotional residue of past versions of yourself letting go. You do not need to fight these moments. They are not setbacks. They are the final untying of the threads that once held you to the identity of who you used to be. Allow those feelings to move. Let them pass through. You are not returning to what you were. You are acknowledging that you are no longer there. Chosen one, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because you are about to witness how differently life unfolds when your inner world is steady. You are preparing to step into experiences that reflect your growth, not your wounds. You are stepping into environments where your presence is seen, not misunderstood. You are stepping into relationships that feel reciprocal, not one-sided. You are stepping into opportunities that nurture your spirit, rather than drain it. This stage of your journey is not about becoming someone new. It is about allowing your true self to finally lead. The self beneath the defenses. The self beneath the expectations. The self beneath the survival patterns. The self that has been waiting for space to breathe. You are ready now. And because you are ready, life responds differently. You will notice it soon, perhaps in a meeting that arrives at the perfect moment, perhaps in a conversation that shifts your perspective, perhaps in a feeling of clarity that settles into your chest unexpectedly, or perhaps in the simple, undeniable realization that you are no longer who you once were. This Monday marks the quiet moment of stepping into yourself fully, without fear, without hesitation, without apology. You have grown, and now you rise. There is a moment in a person's evolution when the shift is no longer internal, but begins to express itself outwardly in the smallest of ways. You may notice it first in your voice. There is a steadiness there now, a calm that does not need to be proven. You do not raise your tone to be heard. You do not explain yourself to be understood. Your presence alone carries clarity. The world around you can feel this. Even if no one speaks it aloud, something about you has changed. You are no longer guided by reaction. You are guided by intention. This Monday comes with full of surprises, not because something external is suddenly arriving, but because you are finally able to notice what has been happening all along. Your awareness has sharpened. Your senses are deeper. Your emotional perception is clearer. What once confused you now makes sense. What once overwhelmed you now feels manageable. What once defined you no longer holds the same weight. You are shedding, and the shedding is quiet. You may have found yourself moving slower recently, speaking slower, choosing slower, not out of hesitation, but out of presence. Your mind is no longer racing ahead of the moment. Your spirit is no longer tangled in anxiety about what could go wrong. You are here, fully here. There is a difference between pausing because of fear and pausing because of awareness. You are pausing now because you are watching yourself live. You are recognizing yourself in real time. This is consciousness deepening. Chosen one, This Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because you have entered a stage where old emotional patterns no longer control your responses. You know the difference between intuition and impulse. You know the difference between peace and numbness. You know the difference between patience and avoidance. These differences are subtle. Only someone who has done the inner work can see them. And you can see them now. There is a seriousness forming within you, not heavy, not rigid, but grounded. It is the seriousness of someone who finally understands their value. You are no longer available for experiences that waste your energy. You are no longer attracted to what is destructive to your spirit. You are no longer willing to lose yourself to be accepted. You have stepped into a level of self-respect that does not break. With this comes another shift, your sensitivity. You are beginning to sense the emotional energy of a room before words are spoken. You can feel authenticity, sincerity, uncertainty, or pretense in others immediately. Your intuition does not speak loudly. It speaks precisely. A quiet knowing in the body, a pull, a soft signal. The more you trust it, the more accurate it becomes. This sensitivity is not a burden. It is a guide. It may feel like you have pulled away from certain environments, not because you dislike them, but because your spirit no longer fits there. The spaces that once felt familiar now feel small. The conversations that once felt stimulating now feel repetitive. The dynamics that once held your focus now feel empty. This is not boredom. It is growth. You are outgrowing versions of yourself you once had to be. Chosen one, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because the world is beginning to rearrange itself around your new internal state. People will treat you differently without knowing why. Some will feel drawn to your calm, your clarity, your quiet authority. Some will feel unsettled in your presence because it reflects parts of themselves they have not faced. Do not shrink yourself to comfort anyone. Growth has its own gravity. You are also becoming more gentle. Not weaker, not softer in a fragile way. Gentle in the way that comes from understanding. You no longer judge others as quickly. You see their pain behind their actions. You see the child behind the defense. You see the fear beneath the anger. But you also no longer excuse harmful behavior. Empathy does not mean tolerance. You can understand someone and still choose not to allow them access to your life. That is strength. Your relationship with time is also changing. You no longer feel that everything must happen immediately. You do not chase. You do not force, you allow. Timing becomes something sacred rather than stressful. You know now that what is meant for you is already moving toward you. Not someday, not maybe, but inevitably. You simply meet it when you are aligned. Chosen one, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because your life is beginning to match your inner transformation. This is where the shift becomes noticeable. Your thoughts will feel clearer. Your choices will feel simpler. Your boundaries will feel natural. Your relationships will feel honest. Your days will feel intentional. You will not need to announce your change. Your life will speak for you. There comes a stage in transformation where you no longer feel the need to look back. For a long time, you may have revisited certain memories, certain choices, certain people, trying to understand where things shifted, why they unfolded the way they did, what they were meant to teach. That reflection was necessary. It helped you decode yourself. It helped you recognize patterns. It helped you understand the difference between wounds and intuition. But now, something is changing. Looking back no longer feels necessary. There is no emotional charge there anymore. The story has been understood. The cycle has completed itself. The past no longer calls you. You are facing forward. This Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because you have reached a point where your energy is no longer tied to old narratives. You are no longer trying to rewrite what has already occurred. You are no longer trying to undo what shaped you. You are beginning to trust that every moment, even the difficult ones, had purpose. You are learning to respect your own journey. You are beginning to recognize your resilience as something sacred. There is peace in this kind of acceptance, not passive peace, not pretending, not numbing, but genuine peace rooted in understanding. You are beginning to realize that you do not need closure from others. The closure happened within you when you learned to release the story of who you had to be in order to survive. That identity did its job. It protected you. But it is not the identity you are meant to live from anymore. The way you carry yourself now is different. You move with quiet certainty. You express yourself with intention. You listen more deeply, not to respond, not to defend, but to understand. Your presence has become spacious. People feel like they can breathe around you. This is what happens when someone makes peace with themselves. The energy of inner conflict dissolves. The spirit becomes calm. Chosen one, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because life is preparing to match your calm with clarity. You will begin to receive opportunities that align with your new level of awareness. These opportunities will not overwhelm you. They will not require you to sacrifice parts of yourself. They will feel like the natural next step. When something is meant for you now, it will not force itself into your life. It will align gently, effortlessly, organically. Your capacity for patience has also grown. You are no longer rushing to reach destinations. You are no longer racing time. You understand that what belongs to you cannot pass you. You understand that what is aligned will arrive without force. So you have stopped gripping. You have stopped pushing. You have stopped trying to control outcomes. This surrender is not giving up. It is finally trusting the rhythm of your life. You may also find that your emotional responses have changed. Situations that once would have shaken you now barely disturb your inner balance. It is not that you feel less, you actually feel more, but your relationship to your feelings has matured. You allow emotions to move without letting them define your identity. You allow them to express without letting them take over your direction. You feel deeply without losing yourself. This is a powerful stage of awakening. It is here that you begin to see your life differently. You stop waiting for dramatic signs or grand revelations. You see meaning in the ordinary. You feel gratitude without effort. You find beauty in simplicity. You understand that joy does not need to be loud to be real. Peace does not need to be perfect to be present. Healing does not need to be complete to be true. Chosen one, this Monday comes with full of surprises, just for you, because you are no longer meeting life with resistance. You are meeting it with presence, and life responds to presence with clarity. The more grounded you become, the clearer everything else becomes: relationships, decisions, directions, truths. The world is not chaotic when the inner world is steady. You are beginning to understand that your journey was never about becoming something new. It was about remembering what was always inside you: the depth, the awareness, the empathy, the strength, the intuition. The world may have covered it at times. Pain may have overshadowed it. Fear may have silenced it. But it was always there, quietly waiting. Now, it is rising, not with urgency, not with noise, but with inevitability. You are stepping into yourself in a way that cannot be undone. You are not the same, and you will never be the same again. There is a quiet shift happening in the atmosphere of your life. You may not see every detail of it yet, but you can feel its presence, like the way air changes before a season turns. Something is preparing to unfold, something aligned with the way you've grown, something that mirrors the internal work you have done without applause, without recognition, without anyone fully witnessing the depth of your transformation. This is the moment your inner evolution begins to be reflected in your outer world.